Hello, and welcome to this episode of Inside Legal ESG. My name is Pam Cohn, and I am delighted to serve as host for this podcast series. Today, we are so fortunate to have with us Ximena Araya. She is an Innovation and Sustainability Associate at Facio and Canas in San Jose, Costa Rica. Hola, Ximena, how are you?
Hi, Pamela. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast today.
It's our pleasure. So let's start by having you share with us a little bit about your practice and your role at Facio and Canas.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm a Costa Rican lawyer, sustainability specialist, and innovation manager. I have been involved in these topics for approximately 7 years now, and the last 2 at Facio and Canas. The process really began within the firm itself. In the last 2 years, we have taken significant steps in strengthening our commitment towards all these topics, with emphasis on training on diversity and human rights promotion, work environment, a volunteering in a pro bono program, and mitigating and reducing environmental impact. It's been really a very fruitful journey that I've really enjoyed. And right now, we're looking to start integrating sustainability and ESG into our services for clients through our existing practice areas.
So it's interesting that your firm started its own journey and now is leveraging some of that expertise and packaging it in a way that can also serve your clients. And that's a good sequence of events.
Mm-hmm.
What I have found too often is that law firms are quick to position themselves as ESG advisors to clients without having taken some steps as the firm themselves. So you did it the right way around, which is wonderful. So as your firm is positioning itself to serve clients in this area, what are the hottest topics right now around ESG? What are your clients concerned about? What do they need help with?
Well, definitely the IFRS S1 and S2 standards will cause companies to accelerate the integration of sustainability disclosure. The implementation here in the country will be gradual. We're starting with voluntary disclosure this year. However, we always advise or recommend that our clients stay ahead of regulatory changes to better address risk. And well, another topic is also our national sustainable finance taxonomy, which is currently under public consultation on behalf of the National Security Superintendency. So this is also crucial to strengthen the verification of sustainability criteria in financing in the country.
And so for any of the regs that are specific to Costa Rica, is it just for listed companies, or do private companies, does the regulations cover private companies as well? What's the threshold?
Yes, the regulation will start with a voluntary disclosure on behalf of any company that is ready to do this and has the data. However, in 2026, it will start with only listed companies, and then big taxpayers also.
Yeah.
In 2027. So it's a gradual implementation.
So right now it's voluntary and anybody can do it if they want, but in 2026 it will be obligatory and additionally obligatory for others in 2027.
Yes, exactly.
Is litigation around ESG topics as hot in Costa Rica as it is here in the US? And if so, what are the key litigation topics?
Yeah, well, I think above all, environmental litigation has always been very strong here in the country. Sadly, environmental compliance and conservation will sadly keep trending. In fact, well, right now a huge tree felling is happening in Manzanillo, Limón, one of the most significant wildlife refugee sites in our country. And so all things related to environmental compliance are always a hot topic here in the country. We have very strong environmental regulation given our sustainability commitments and conservation commitments. Another topic that I think is also very, very hot right now is anti-corruption. Recently in Costa Rica, the Congress passed two very relevant laws. The first one regarding criminal liability of companies, which was previously not possible for anti-corruption matters. And also the protection, well, a law for the protection of whistleblowers in companies. So we keep seeing definitely that compliance and reputation strategy based on risks are essential to prevent legal and social scrutiny right now in the country, which can expose the company to potential financial stress and also damage the ability to generate business in the future.
Well, it sounds like many things happening in Costa Rica are further along on the journey than they are here in the US. So you're leading the way. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think 2024 and 2025 will have in store for us in Costa Rica and globally? What's on the horizon?
Well, I think definitely the realization that ESG has come here to stay and that many regulatory changes are still happening and will continue happening. Not only regulatory as in the legal point of view, but also technical regulation and guidance for companies. I think this is very important to really advance the sustainability agenda from a public policy point of view also. And definitely we have to keep discussing about how to keep simplifying disclosure mechanisms above all for the biggest companies.
Yeah. So if we talk again in a year, which I suspect we will, what will we talk about? What will Costa Rica be doing a year from now with respect to ESG?
Well, the sustainable finance taxonomy will already be in place. So I think that will give us a lot to talk about from the banking and finance point of view, from the sustainability project financing point of view. I think this is very important to allocate more resources towards sustainability and towards sustainability criteria in financing. And also what I was talking about earlier about anti-corruption laws and anti-corruption compliance strategy in companies, this will also be a huge topic with these new laws happening. And well, still there's a lot to be discovered about the implementation of the law and how our jurisdiction will interpret this law. So these are definitely two things that will be happening in the next few months.
And I look forward to actually chatting again a year from now, and we'll see how spot on your predictions were. So my last question that I love to ask guests is, given that this is such a challenging area to work in, to practice in, to advise in, what gives you hope?
That's a tough question. I think what gives me hope is sustainability and ESG are here to stay. In the last few years, well, we've seen sort of an anti-ESG movement and a lot of controversy around the concept and its implications. And it may not be perfect. We may still have a lot of work to do, but I still firmly believe that this is the lens that is allowing us to operate business in a more conscious way with people and with the planet.
In a more sustainable way, so that society can actually survive long term. Imagine that.
Exactly.
Well, I really appreciate your insights coming to us all the way from Costa Rica. It's always good to hear what other countries are doing. And as I said, you're much further along the journey than we are here in the US. So it's really good to see. Thank you so much for your time, Ximena.
Thank you so much, Pamela.